on this part of my Gmail course, I am going to set up a filter and to help collaborate with the labels that we made previously. So previously we created to-do labels, an important label and a trip label, basically to organize your accounts and to help with clearing up your inbox. So you can archive emails and it'll go into these designated folders that we've labeled previously. So, but now, so this is going to be about creating notes for yourself and basically sending yourself emails, or yeah, doing that. So the idea is to, if you were to stay in Gmail, this might help. This would help you be organized. So let's create a filter. Filters are great to prevent things from going into spam. They're a great way to organize your code. They're a great way, or great way to organize your mail, I guess. So, and clear up that inbox. So we're going to make a filter to send or have a label be added automatically to anything that says today, a specific keyword, right? And if you add this keyword to any email, that'll be labeled as today. So in the subject, if it has this keyword colon, we're going to create a filter. So in here, in this area, let's go back. So I'll walk through these. So from, if it's from a specific person, if it's from yourself, you can do that. If it's to being, I would assume to yourself, but if you have multiple accounts set up within Gmail, if it's to, like earlier, I had 2 emails set up in the same Gmail account. One was chris@chrisshimmin.com, and the other one was just my email. So it was shimminweb@gmail.com. And basically here, if it's to Chris, have it go to a Chris folder, or mark it as important, or starred, or delete it. It could be anything. We'll see on the next section. Subject, which is what we're going to do. Basically, if any email comes in and it has this at all in the subject, then we can do something with it. If it has the words, meaning if it has the words in the body of the email, in the title and the subject, anywhere. And then it doesn't have is the opposite, if it doesn't have a certain word. So just a quick note, I have noticed in the past that has the words it's gotten better, but it's not exact. If, like, I've noticed, like, the higher up you go on this list, probably the more accurate it's going to be. Because if it's from someone, if you have that exact email, there's no doubt that Google's going to know who that's from. But if you has the words, there might be 500 words in an email, and you might have thousands of emails. So I mean, Google has a great algorithm for searching. That's how that's the company basically. But sometimes it interacts differently with, say, multiple filters that you have, and sometimes one email might get skipped. So ideally, you want to use the from, or you want to use the subject, because those will typically have less words and they'll be less likely to have an error in the filter. So if you can do it if you click create filter, it'll take you to the next section. So in this section, you have all these options to choose from. And if it has, and if you get an email with the the word or this code right or this string right here of today colon, you can create the filter based on that. So go try that again. So you can skip the inbox, say you don't want it to go in there, which I don't know if I would recommend doing that. Mark it as red, so basically so you don't get a notification that you have something in your inbox. You would do this if you just want the emails as as a paper trail, but you don't want to actually read it. So this would be great for like if you owned a business and you were selling products and you didn't want to be notified every time someone bought something, and you just wanted to see the email at a later date. Star, you can star it. You can apply a label. So I think that is what we are going to do. But you can keep going down. So we'll keep going through these. So apply a label. I'm going to apply the today label that we made earlier. You can forward this. We don't have any forwarding addresses set up, so that's why I can't choose that. I can delete it. I don't want to do that. I can never send it to spam, which is great. I've done this for people at work where emails were going into their spam every time from a certain person, and it was an invoice. It was an important email. So I basically set up a simple filter from this person, and I just created a filter that said never send to spam, and she never had an issue again. Mark it as important. That's a label. Never mark as important. Again, these are just options that you can choose. You can categorize them, which is nice. I think if you don't choose anything, it'll just be as it is, whatever happens. And then so if you have any emails that already have this qualification, it would be, then you could click this and it would apply existing emails. But since we don't have any, it doesn't do anything. That's why it says zero matching. So I'll create that filter, and this is your filter, and you can edit and you can delete, and you can always come back to do this. So basically I'm going to send myself an email here, right? And in it, it's going to say today. I don't know if I did I think I did a capital T, but let's see what happens if I do a lowercase. Walk code to do. So yeah, now I can make a to-do list today. I can eat, work out, code, and that's it. What else is there? Okay, I can send, and see how you saw that? So we got the email. It wasn't automatically applied, but because we have a filter, it added it after the algorithm ran through. And so now we have to do automatically added, and it's already in our today folder. Simple, right? It's awesome. It's very efficient, makes it easy, labels it. So you have this red label that says to do today. And now you have a to-do list basically within Gmail. And so if you're in Gmail all the time, you can just do this and you don't have to make your own Gmail or your own to-do list in a different program. Even though Tasks makes it very easy for you, you could also do that as an option. But I've used this in the past. I don't use it too often anymore because, say, I write things down or I'll add it to tasks. But you can see the possibility here. It is there. So I can archive it, go back to today, And there you have. Okay, I also want to discuss filters. So I've used this before at work as well. I think these are forwarding rather. So I want to add a forwarding address. So I'm going to use, say, my email. And I can add this. Now it'll ask me to proceed. So now I have to find my email. Basically, okay, so now whenever I have an email, it'll be added to my other account. And what is the point of doing this? Say you have an admin email, and you want to like notify your boss or your IT worker for some reason. And now, say like a customer support email. So now we can make a filter and say if it comes from me, basically, I can choose to forward this, or if it has the words, I'll try a different one. We'll have say you have a support email, and you want to send it to, and the support is multiple people log into the support, and say there is multiple people you would like to send to based on that. And so you can do so you say it's sending here to Shimmin Web. You can create a filter, and now I can forward that to my other email address, and have it never send a spam. So if it ever goes to that email, it'll always go through this process. I can star it, um, always mark it as important, leave it in the primary, and if I apply this to the existing emails, they will not be forwarded, but I'm not positive. Okay, so this is basically saying the filter will forward spam. Okay, so this is not recommended, basically, because they don't want you to send spam, is basically what's happening. So if I were to remove that, now it works fine. Your filters are forwarding some of your mail. Okay. That's fine. So if I send this to myself here, IT help. So I received this, it's starred, marked as important, I'm sure. So go down here, it's important, yes, it is. Now I'm going to check my other inbox. So I just received it. So there's a little lag, which is perfectly fine. And so when an email is forwarded, it actually says it's from Shimmin Web to Shimmin Web. So it doesn't actually say it's from or it doesn't actually say it went to shimmin.christopher@gmail. So there are some things, I guess, with that, but it's a good way to just filter out emails and send them to other employees if you'd like, or other email accounts. You can also, so that is actually within the filtering option. So I'm going to remove that. Or you can just forward all incoming emails and basically send a copy to this. And this is relatively new, I guess, in the last couple of years. Filtering. I also believe you can only set up one email. So I can't, in this section right here, in the forwarding section, I can't have multiple people. So, oops. So I can do this again, and this won't be a filter any longer. So there's nothing in here. Now it's just all email or all mail is being forwarded to Shimmin.Christopher. And that's it. There's nothing else I need to do. Forget to save. As for the POP and the IMAP, those are used primarily. I might make that a separate video, but I believe those are primarily for using Gmail as your default email. And I've used it at my old school email where I didn't want to log in and I didn't want to have to worry about if my teacher emailed my school email versus my personal. And so I would use, I believe, the POP. The IMAP is safer, but sometimes you can only use a POP. And a POP means you get an email in your other account, and periodically your Gmail account will look and like pull it. It'll do like it'll try to retrieve any mail that has been sent to that account. Whereas IMAP, I think, is more instantaneous. But if I do a video on that, it'll be a separate one. But I really wanted to touch on the filters and the labeling. And I think they're a great way for people to organize mail and declutter your primary inbox, because that's really what you want to do. You want to keep this as clutter free as possible, but sometimes you don't want to delete mail, which I totally understand. So I think this is a good introduction. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at one of the emails that you've seen. I've added a couple here, or you can just add a comment below, and I'll try to help. But hopefully these videos helped. I use them every day at work, personal life. I think they're great hacks, and so yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.